Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and I've discussed the fact that people can only be pushed so far with this mask mandate, and even covered now, it's got to be maybe weeks, months ago, this Asian young man, I'm pretty sure it was either in China or Hong Kong or Japan, I'm not sure exactly where it was, but it was at a McDonald's. And he was with his girlfriend, and he was told to wear a mask, and he literally went across the counter and just mercilessly beat the clerk. And I'm sympathetic to these clerks because I don't know what I would be able to be doing in this situation in so many places if I was told I had to wear a mask 8 to 12 hours a day in some cases to make a living. Don't know how that... I don't think I'd fare very well. I don't fare well for 5 to 10 minutes with one of these things on, okay? And now in New York City, you have the perfect storm. Let me explain it to you. Place is filthy. Sanitation's been cut by, I believe it's 60% at this point. Garbage everywhere. There are people now protesting that the homeless people and the people they let out of jail, sex offenders, etc., have now been kicked out of some of the luxury hotels at the taxpayer expense. But while all this is going on, protests, riots, what's happening? Police are leaving. They're being restricted. They're donezo. We already talked about the Rochester Police Department today. So there's less law enforcement. The people are frustrated. They're less law-abiding. Well, that's a recipe for disaster. And we're going to show you the bodega owner behind us pleading with people, saying, listen, this mask mandate that Cuomo has put in order, that de Blasio is LARPing about, okay? Because it's always do as I say and not as I do. It's all selectively enforced. He's like, I don't want to die. But then I have one of these health inspectors come in and they want to take away my liquor license if someone's not wearing a mask. So it's a real short clip we're going to play. And then I'm going to show you what's going on in my community, because the live action role play here still is that partying college kids are the reason we have the coronavirus outbreak here, even though they didn't test any of those college kids before they got here. And now they want to take this mandate, this health ordinance, right? And they want to criminalize it so that you can be fined by the police here. And like there's like one guy that's being sensible, my poor chief of police. I could just see how awful he feels about the whole thing. And to the mayor's credit, as much as I don't like him, he kept his mouth shut 99.9% of the time and did not chime in one way or the other. But the idea that you're going to fine me now for not wearing a mask in public or staying 6 feet away, and they keep talking about groups of kids of 3 or 6, and they literally joke about how it's really the students. It's really some deplorable stuff. You know, my community should be ashamed of how they're handling this. So before we play you the news clip and show you some of the video footage of people getting in, out and out fist fights, being slapped. I mean, if you don't think people can get killed right now, wait till I show you New York City's numbers over Labor Day weekend. But what you just heard, dangerous content, harmful content, the kind of content apparently Silicon Valley doesn't want you to hear. YouTube, a.k.a. Google, a.k.a. Alphabet, a.k.a. the media military industrial complex that I'm not supposed to call out because you can't do that, not on this platform. Thought we had free speech, but, what are you going to do? GoFundMe, they haven't been messing with me lately, so $5, $10, $15, big donors. You mean the world to me. You can donate through that mechanism right there. Make sure you're sharing the videos. Again, don't just post the stuff, but thumbs it up, join the Burmis Brigade, find a video, and then DM it to somebody else, share it with them. That brings more people in. And remember, we've got exclusives, free ones. Make a free account. Check out who are the real losers in the 2020 election over on Rockfin, because Rockfin is where I will be once I get kicked off of this platform eventually. We are going to do a watch-along on 9/11 with Loose Change Final Cut. I'm going to have Dylan Avery on the show as well. I'm not sure if he wants to do a really long broadcast and do a watch along with us, but he's going to be over, I believe, at 6 p.m., so we'll see. I may do that in the day and then have Dylan on later, but the 9/11 anniversary will also be on Adam Kokesh's show. All right, let's play it. Let's bring it all the way back. Let's let people understand. This is what's happening in New York City right now.
America talked about the surveillance video from 3 weeks ago. It shows a clerk inside one Bronx bodega on 3rd Avenue in Morrisania being smacked by a customer. Minutes later, another man takes a swing at a different clerk. Fernando Mateo, a spokesman for the bodega workers, says that clerk was trying to enforce the mandatory face covering rule required by the state. Mateo says the mandate is putting workers in danger.
We don't like telling people to put on a mask, but it's what the governor and the mayor have imposed on us.
So apparently this is the spokesman for United Bodegas of America, so it's a type of a union group. He's like, I don't want to tell these people, but, what am I supposed to do?
Yet they punish us if we do not enforce it. If they walk into your bodega and someone is in there without a mask, they will take your liquor license away.
Mateo says they're meeting with the police commissioner later this month to address their concerns.
My question is, later this month, address their concerns. Listen, when is the LARP over? Even in New York City, we're talking about under a 1% infection rate. Like 0.6 something percent almost every day right now. And you want to literally possibly cost somebody's actual life, not from some virus they're fighting, but because someone came in to get a pack of smokes and some lottery tickets and they weren't wearing a mask, and you made that person say something and they got shot in the head. You think that's far-fetched? I don't know. You tell me it's far-fetched. On Monday, just Monday, in New York City, 37 shootings. Gun arrests, 160 last week. It's a 25-year high. This is what actually defunding the police looks like. And again, if you go into my feed, you'll see the story I posted about actual police reform and how actual police brutality is a real thing. But take a look at what again, we have all these issues with police, but now you want them to enforce masks in my community. Okay? They want to waste the time of my community, and especially that Dave Risberger. I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out, Katie Lapari-Shoe. Okay? Rafter, you got to get better on the issue. Merzig, you got to get better on the issue. Herzig, you haven't had a spine this whole time. And Murphy on the bottom here, yeah, I'm calling you all out by name because you need to. You need to be called out by name. Okay? The only guy was this Leonard guy that was saying, this seems like an overreach. And Brenner, I know you kept your mouth shut because you're not part of the council, but you know you don't want to do this. You don't want to start fining people on the street for not wearing a mask or because they're in a group of more than 10 people on Main Street or not 6 feet apart. They don't live together. What have we become? Now, one person there addressed the fact that we have 800 plus confirmed cases, really probably closer to 1,000 cases, right? In my community easily, and not one person is in the hospital. So what are we doing? You want to talk endangering lives? You're endangering those lives in New York City every single day. You are making them say, wear a mask. You already got the ridiculous plexiglass up. You already got them in a mask muzzled the entire day. This is abhorrent, it's disgusting, and it's disturbing. So folks, thumbs the video up, subscribe, and share. Once again, join the Burmese Brigade. The way you support me is through the GoFundMe, $5, $10, $15. It means the world to me. Make sure you're thumbing them up. You're sharing. You're choosing a video. You're not just posting it on your page, and you're reaching out to somebody and saying, check out this channel. Rockfin is another place that you guys can support me. And now the anniversaries are around, if you have not seen Loose Change, Final Cut, and Fabled Enemies, please watch them. I poured my heart into those films for a reason. They are important films. Okay? So, again, Loose Change, Final Cut, fabled enemies. If you want to know how we got here, where we are now, all right, not just where we're going with Invisible Empire and Shade the Motion Picture, because that describes a lot, sure, and where we're headed. But we got here through deceptive actions like 9/11. So guys, thanks for joining me. It's not about left or right, it's about right and wrong. Always, I love you, and I'll see you on the flip side.